Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Crafts. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McKinney, Texas, and this is my final zinnia card. It is a fun fold. This fun fold is one that I learned from Connie Stewart, who is an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Oklahoma. She's absolutely fabulous, and it's not exactly the card she made, but the base of the card and the structure of the card is the same. So let's get started. Again, we are using pretty much just stamps, ink, and paper, but this is a fun fold. And what I like about this fun fold is it starts out as a landscape card, but when you open it up, it turns into a portrait card. And it's because of the fold. So to do this, you just want to make sure that you're using a non-directional paper for this square in the middle. And it has a bunch of mats and layers, but it's a lot of gluing and not a lot of hard stuff here. And then, of course, we put the zinnia on the outside of our card. So let's look at the parts and pieces to this card. Of course, you are going to have a number on the back of your envelope. This is number 4. And you will have inside your card a bunch of stuff. You will have a card base that is 11 by 4 1/4. Score it 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. Gosh, I almost said that wrong. 5 1/2. And then when it is folded and facing towards you, there is a tick mark at 1 1/4 inches and a diagonal line up to this side. This will get folded back on itself, okay? That is the key to this card. The rest of it is very, very, very simple. So before we do anything else, we're going to do this one fold and we're going to burnish. And we're going to burnish really well on this cardstock. And then we are going to take this card and we are going to flip it back. We're going to flip it back onto itself. And it should square right up. It's very important this is burnished well. So your card should look like this at this time. And we're going to put our card base aside for a moment while we do some matte layering and stamping. This is for our sentiment. We are going to use the hello again. I used hello on here. We're going to use hello on this one. You should have 2 DSP that are pink Flirty Flamingo. And that's the matte, and the layer is the designer series paper. The other side is the flip side to this. It's like using up the paper, okay? So you'll have 2 of each of these, and they'll get assembled together. You will have 1 designer series paper and this. Now this is a very thin border. And in this situation, when it's this thin, I always use glue. So we will be using our green glue for this. And then here we have a little bit of a bigger border here. And this border is going to go, this will go onto here like this. Okay? Then we have a piece to stamp for the inside, and this is the matte and layer for the inside of your card. Okay, so let's put together a few of these pieces before we go much farther. Well, I take that back. Let's stamp first because that way our inks will dry, and yeah, I think that will be better. Then we can do assembly. So we're going to ink this. We're going to ink on this, and I'm going to just set that up there for right now. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put in Highland Heather, we're going to put our hello on our oval. And to make it easier to see, yes, let me bring back my scrappy piece of paper so you can actually see it. And I will get out my Highland Heather. And I will ink that up, tap, 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 because I want to make sure there's enough ink on there for the army. And I will put my hello on there. Having committed, I hope it's good. If not, we will just flip it over. Oh, that's a pretty good hello. So we're going to let that just sit there and dry. We're going to close our Highland Heather. At this point, we are done with the Highland Heather. And we're going to go to our Flirty Flamingo. And with the Flirty Flamingo, we are going to stamp our zinnia. So I always put it in the lower left. You can put it anywhere you want on the card, but I like to leave all of that for our friends to write, or for me to write. And I go the lower left on the front, and then in the center on the flap. But you can go crazy and go all over. Just leave room for your addresses. And let's close that. That's all the inking we have to do. I like these cards. They're very simple. They're very easy. Let me take away my scrappy paper. And I am going to use at this point a little bit of adhesive on here because this is a simple one. And again, this is that double oval punch. I just love this punch. I am so sad it's going away. But if you haven't watched my other video, this is the double circle punch. And you can punch two of one color. I tend to just put in strips and do one and then the other. That's how I got these. So I didn't have a bunch of the other part that I didn't want in either color combination. But this is going to be retired at the end of April. So if you would like it, I would, try and order it. Hopefully it doesn't sell out. It is a fan favorite, I have to say. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on here. And this is going to have a 1/4 inch thing. This part here, because it is a wide enough border, I don't feel the need to glue. And it's only when it's really thin that I feel the need to glue. That way I can be as accurate as I can. So I'm going to set that. I'm going to get these inks out of here. That's going to go there. And now is when I'm going to start gluing. So we're going to get out our wonderful glitter glue, our wonderful green glue, and we are going to do this to the back of it. Now I'm going to show you a trick that helps you line these up, and hopefully it won't intimidate you much. But come in at an angle, put your finger on one side and the other, and then move it around without centering it all the way down, without flattening it. See, I'm just touching these. The glue is on the other side, is everywhere. When you think you've got it straight, go ahead and lightly take a finger across it. If it looks really straight, then what I want you to do is I want you to take your mat like this. I want you to set it down and then press in the center and go out from each side, smearing that glue on the inside, adhering it so it does not move. And look at that. Nice little border. So we're going to put that on our Highland Heather. And our Highland Heather here has got a little bit more space, right? But I'm still going to do the glue thing again so that you can see it a second time. Again, I am just going to go from one corner to the other, and I'm going to make it look as straight as I can, as even as I can, and see it still has time and flexibility. That is the beauty of the glue, is that flexibility to do that. Okay? So, now we shall do our two other little panels, which again are very close together. In fact, they're so close together that they need to be trimmed. Oh my. Well, if you need to trim yours, you need to trim them. So let me bring in my trimmer. And any of you that know me know I trim upside down. So I like my numbers down here, and hopefully you can see them. But this, I think, is at 4 inches. Yeah, it needs to be 1/8 of an inch less. So, I've got something that's blocking my way here. Let's try this again. Okay, so it's right now 1/8 of an inch. I needed to go down another 1/8, so it is a total of 3¼ inches. 3¼ 3/4, 3 3/4. I have to say it right. 3 3/4. It just looks weird because there's stripes in there. Okay, now it will fit on my paper correctly. It was exactly the same size, and that's no bueno. So we're going to put a little glue on this down the center, and we're going to adhere it on here. Now watch, I probably cut it too much. I did, but that's okay. We're just going to let it go at this point. I think that's pretty good. It's an exact science when it's, and then it's not. That's the best way to say it. Sometimes it's very exact, and sometimes, well, that'll work. Yeah, this one seems a little bit too short. I got a little zealous there. We'll put one on the inside and one on the outside. Okay, so we don't really need our glue anymore. We can put that away. So, well, we will need it. We're going to put in this here in our card first. Okay. So this is going to go about 1/4 of an inch above, or, 1/8 of an inch above the crease. So we can use our tape for that. And we're just going to set it on there where it looks like it's about right. Okay. Then on the front side, about 1/8 of an inch from the fold, we're going to put it the other one. If we can put this in a way that it'll work. There we go. La la la. Okay. So about 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch. There we go. Now comes the tricky part. And I lied when I said we're not going to use our glue again, but we are. We're going to use our glue right now. So you want this to literally be right up to that point. So if it's not, go ahead and fix it so that it is. It will just change it a little bit. Burnishing it. Okay. So the trick to getting this on here straight is the point of this and the point of this have to be on that diagonal. Okay? And then it is matted and layered correctly all the way around. Okay? It should come out straight. But you need to put glue here. And the reason why I say glue is because this gives you time to slide it around a little bit. So go ahead, and you don't have to be that generous, but I'm just making a point here. So I want this, and I just slide it up to where it's going to meet at the bottom and meet at the top. It should look pretty straight all the way around. There you go. And now we will go ahead and put on our sentiment. Our sentiment can go here, it can go here, it can go here. It has to face you while this is closed in a landscape. So I think I'm going to put mine right here, only because I want more of the zinnia to show. And this is a tape down. I would not, or glue down. You can use tape or an adhesive of some form. I'm going to just bring it up a little bit, like a third of the way. I want some of that flower to show. And so I'll put that like that. And then I did use some gems on it. So let's go ahead and I used pink on that one, but I think I'm going to use some orange right here. And then up here, I think I'm going to go, I put something on here before. Do I go with green or yellow? I think I'm going to pop it with pink, just because. There we go. And there you have that part of the card is done. But wait, you said we still haven't put this in. We have not. So here's what I do with this. Again, I'm going to use glue. And I'm using glue so I have time to move this. That is really the key of when I want to use glue, is when I want some time to be able to move it. I am going to set this in here, and I am going to make sure it lines up with the front so that you really can't see that there's something behind there. Okay, so that's all I did. And I send it up to the edge of this, and then I close the card. And then to burnish it down, I flip the card over. I use my bone folder and I go across it. And that's going to give you a nice flat, no bubbly type of card. And there we have it. Now, while this is a fairly simple, looks pretty complicated, but it really is a very simple card. And it's really fun to do, and it wows everybody. So if you do this card again, just remember, it's very simple, but it's just knowing where to do things. Again, I'll just flip this over. You're going to start with 11 by 4 1/4, score at 5 1/2. Then you're going to fold it in front of you, and you can either mark it with putting an indent in the card or just a tick mark with a pencil. 1 1/4 from the fold to here. From this tick mark to this corner, you're going to put a diagonal score. Then you'll fold it up. Okay, the rest of it is just mat and layering so that when it's opened up, it looks complete. There you have it. Thank you so much for coming today. Now you will see that they both are a little bit different. Like here has a smaller one on the inside. I happen to like the smaller one better. I did this one at first, but it was hard for people, so I went to the bigger one here. But it's all good. It is all good. I hope you enjoyed these cards. If you have any questions or comments, please put them put them in the comment section. Please like and share my video. And again, thank you again for joining me. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.